Hey guys, this is Julie Abels with Ridgelet Ranch, and today I was just going to do a little directed drawing of the Hagia Sophia. We've been using IEW's medieval history-based writing lessons. I love their curriculum. One of the stories in it is about Justinian the Great and how he built the Hagia Sophia, and so just to have a little illustrated copy to go with our lesson, we're going to be drawing this today. Now I've actually simplified it so that when we draw it together it's going to be a little simpler than this, but I did want to show you my 9-year-old's drawing. I love that it's definitely still recognizable as the Hagia Sophia, even though it's a little bit simpler. So I've printed off just some random pictures from the internet. One thing that I've noticed about the Hagia Sophia is these shapes here, where this kind of piece of the building comes up to this rounded top. And then, of course, it has this big dome and several other domes in front of it. When you look at some of the other historical pictures, you can see some of these same characteristics. For example, you've got a couple domes here. And this one's actually kind of turned off to the side, so you don't see the same angle, but it's still an interesting picture. And then I think, let's see, one of these printed on the back. Here we go. So this is more like the angle that I want to draw it. We can see these rounded pieces, we can see these 4 towers, and we can see these smaller domes in front of the larger dome. So that's what we're going to be drawing today, and this is the kind of the black and white that I'm going to be working off of. It's just a simplified version, but it is kind of up in the air, so we can still see the other domes and these circles and the 4 towers. So this is what we're going to be drawing. I'm going to be looking at this simpler line drawing as I go. Now, the first thing that I want to do, just to make sure that I can get it all on the page, is kind of think about how big everything is. I have these towers off to the side, so these towers form kind of the top of my drawing. These domed structures form the bottom of my drawing, and this here is kind of in the middle. And so I'm just going to make some dots on my paper and say, you know, my 4 towers should be somewhere around here. They're going to come down, the base should be around here, which means this center piece should be right in here. And I find, especially when working with kids, that having a little dot where I want 2 lines to be can help kids draw that line and put it in where they want it, instead of their pencil kind of going off on its own. And I will say, I'm working with marker today. I hope you guys will be working with pencil so you can erase. But if I draw with pencil, it's kind of hard for you guys to see it online. So I'm going to be trying to work with marker. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw this little kind of half dome piece. So this is the center. And from there there's no like specific order this has to be done in. This is just what makes sense to me. I'm going to come in on each of these and do a kind of a partial circle, maybe an upside down U, and then come out. Kind of an upside down U and out. And then just above that, I'm going to be drawing, now this piece has a little bit of slant to these angles, so I'm going to draw them in just a little. And then I'm going to put a nice big dome on top. All right, now I'm going to kind of finish my structure here. And then I'm going to add in these windows. So these are going to come inside this area. And they're going to kind of come down. Let's see, probably a little bit lower. And maybe I can even add in some of these panes of glass to make it really look like a window. Now below, I want these domed structures that are a little bit closer to the viewer. So this left one is going to be kind of in front. So I'm going to draw it first. Let's see here, a little dome, a little angle, and now this outside piece kind of has a geometric shape to it. Thinking they must have made the side walls a little bit straighter. And then this back one is kind of hidden. So I'm going to draw it in, but just not complete it all. Let's see, let's get about where this goes. And each of these have a little pointed top. And then this one on the right is maybe a little bit further over. I think when I look at some of my pictures, I can actually see that this right one stands quite a bit further away, at least when looking at this angle. So I'm going to move him over a little bit more than I did in my first drawing there. And these lines are kind of those hard edges of the building. Now I'm going to move off to the side. So I've got the center of my dome done. And you can see what I've drawn here is kind of a larger dome in the background and some kind of horizontal lines. You can see I've really simplified the buildings. I didn't draw in a lot of these details. And it still looks like, you know, the overall, like the Hagia Sophia. So we'll just draw a little dome in. And now I can come in, maybe have a little bit more building. Now let's see here. My towers are not going to be right where I thought they were, but they are going to, at least I'm not totally off my page here. So my planning worked even if it wasn't perfect. Now I'm going to think, okay, this back tower is going to be a little bit skinnier. Maybe have it kind of end here. And then we're going to have like an extra little piece here and a top. And then this one here, kind of make a slightly curved line. It's going to be a little bit, oops, I didn't really make that thicker, did I? Make it a little thicker. And then give it a nice little base, and it can sit here. And it's going to have a bigger tower because it's closer to the front. Okay. You can tell, can you tell I drew this one with pencil first and then pen? I'm liking this one that I did with pencil first a lot better than this one I'm doing straight with pen. But that's okay. We just keep going, right? Repetition is how we learn. So I'm going to have this tower come off. And then this other one's going to be a little bit bigger. As you guys are going along, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and take your time. I'm going to give that one a nice base. Okay, so now I've got some other structures from side to side. You can see we've got this rounded piece here and this rounded piece here. So I'm just going to really start kind of just sketching in some buildings. It's kind of an interesting shaped building. I would love to go see this in person. If you guys have ever seen this building in person, let me know. Maybe even have some pictures that are easier to see what we're looking at. Add some little windows. And then on this other side, we have a similar structure. The view is kind of blocked here, but on this side, you can really see most of it. Must be at a little bit of an angle. You can tell at this one, we're coming in at this angle because I can see the side of this building, but not on the other side. But I'm just drawing it straight on just to simplify the whole thing. And then we have, let's see, a big structure that comes up like this. So how much detail you want to add in here is totally up to you. You can see that when my younger son drew this, he left a lot of this center detail out. And yet he enjoyed drawing it, and it still has that look of the Hagia Sophia, even without all those details. So from here, you can just look around at pictures and add some windows, add color. It's interesting to me that when you look at some of these colored pictures that include the four spires, I guess I don't see any of them. I'm not sure if this is is representative or if this is just shadows. But in these pictures, one of these towers is a little darker. And I looked it up, and that one tower is darker because it was built at a different time. So it was kind of interesting. They're using some different materials. You'd think that they would really want, it all to match and really be out of the same building materials, but maybe that wasn't an option for them. Give those a little bit of depth. And now I want to just add in some of these other windows here because that seems to be like a real focal point of this building. So there we go. I hope you guys will draw your own rendition of Hagia Sophia and post it up here. And if you guys like having these kinds of little draw along with me videos, let me know, and maybe we'll do some more. I think our next story in the IEW that we're going to do is about Beowulf fighting a dragon. So my son and I are going to draw some dragons. So you guys will have to let me know if you're interested in drawing those along with us. Well, this has been Julie Abels with Ridgelight Ranch, and I hope this helps you love teaching art so you can give your children all the benefits of art and creativity in their education.